Welcome back YouTube, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. 22K here, London Gaming Market. The London Gaming Market, 26th of November it was, so probably a couple of weeks back now. Just got round to doing a vid. I was stalling out with my good mate Daz McCowan, and we did alright. It was a great day, sold some stuff, seen some new faces, bought some stuff that I wasn't intending to buy, because some of the winnings for that market was supposed to go towards Christmas, which they have done. But there was some bits that I could have spent thousands. It was probably one of the better markets for stuff to buy, I suppose. All the usual faces were there stalling out. I met some new people for the first time. Seen Martin, the Geek Master. Nice to meet Martin. He bought a few bits. Load of YouTubers were there. Hopefully those that bought stuff I looked after them. I'm pretty sure I did anyway. Scott Sega Zombie, Scott Sega Saturn Lad, Champion 2D Rob, my good mate Dal, Retro Godfather. We had U-Star Gamer that came up with Scott. I think there's another chap knocking around with Scott who bought some Atari stuff from me. I'll have to check Scott's video out. But didn't really speak too much of it. He bought a fistful of Atari games, so thanks for that. Who else was there? Ed Retro Ed UK. All very briefly though. Didn't see Ed after that. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he got stomped on. And there'll be a few other people that I've probably forgotten as well. If I do forget anybody, I'll put a little tag thing here, and everyone's channel will be down below anyway. But yeah, it was busy. It was proper busy. Again, we were in a sort of little side room, I suppose, but I quite like it in there. The few times I did venture out into the main hall, it was fucking like, it was jam sandwiches. It was terrible. Everyone was squished in. So yeah, coming to our little enclave, and you got a bit of a breather, for want of a better word. There's someone stealing, 2 women stealing, although we think they were working as a team. So I managed to help apprehend those thieving bastards. Terrible, fucking terrible, stealing. But yeah, I bought some bits. Lewis was there, Wish Wash with Manda. Nice to see them again. God, who else? There'd be some people I've forgotten. I deeply apologise. Scott, I said to Scott, didn't I, Sega Saturn Lad? He was there with his little lad. Met his little lad years ago at Revival, so he's got a bit bigger. He was buying Pokemon cards, so he was into his Pokemon cards. God, there'll be somebody I've forgotten. Anyway, like I say, this is not going to be an awfully long video. I just want to come on and show my face, to show some of the pickups I've got, because I've got some really nice bits. I think I've got some nice bits anyway. First up from Lewis, I got a 2600 game Battle Zone. Not in the best nick, but it was only a £5, and I thought, you know what, let's add it to it. I haven't got it. Well, I have now. I don't even think I've got a loose cartridge. I don't know. I'll have to check. It is missing the manual, unfortunately, but I think, you know, as a little stopgap for a £5, yeah, I could do with a bit of an iron. A bit of an iron there. We'll square that one away. There was a chap that was, now, he said, oh, these are all for my lockup, and he allegedly didn't know what they were, but it was all a lot of 8 16-bit micros, piles of cartridges, and this, that, and the other. So I think he was playing stupid a little bit, because there was a cartridge, there's a pile of Super Famicom titles there, and one just literally stuck out to me. I was like, fuck, I need that one. So I asked him how much. They're all a £5. And I'm like, okay. I mean, to be honest, a £5 is probably about the maximum I wanted to pay for this. It's not worth a great deal, and it's the Puyo Puyo food game. Now, you guys ain't going to remember, because you don't really take much notice of my videos, but a couple of months back I bought a couple of box games off Retro Faith, and in that was old Puyo Puyo food. So I've managed to complete that one. See, I always complete games where I can. But yeah, it just so happened that was just sat on the top of this massive pile of Super Famicom titles. But I say he was asking for a £5, and he had some other bits in there that I would have been interested in, but you know, sort of saying he doesn't know what they are. Oh, these have been in my lockup and I've just dug them all out. I thought, nah, bullshit. I've got loads of people coming down to look at them. All right, mate. It's, yeah. When you start giving that bullshit spiel, like you're trying to sort of force a sale and like panic buy people and stuff, it's like, nah, I'm out, mate. I'm out. But anyway, so this next one, there was a stall that was really, really late turning up, and it was next to Lewis, because Lewis thought he was going to get a cheeky table. And God knows why people get there so late. And it's not an uncommon thing to see at all down at London. It's bizarre, because it's fucking London. You better just get there early, and you know what I mean? But you're talking like half an hour before it opens. But I think that helped me a little bit. So these guys were called Hyperplay. Basically a play on Superplay. They had a great banner and stuff, and they were basically an RPG fanzine type thing. Lovely guys, lovely guys. So a lot of it was magazine related to the stuff that they created, like booklets and compendiums and stuff like that. But he had a handful of games, you know, all the usual kind of Nintendo, a lot of fan-made translations and some Japanese stuff which I'd already got. And then bizarrely, he pulled this one out, and I was like, damn, that's one of the only ones I need out of all the ones you've got here. I said, how much is it? He said, a tenner. Fucking nearly snapped his hand off. Again, it's just one for the N64 collection. It even come with a box protector. So at £10, I was quids in it. Track and Field, International Track and Field Summer Games. It's all complete. In pretty nice condition for a tenner. It's in fucking £10 worth of condition, I'll tell you that much. So again, this is probably what, £35–40 game maybe on a good day in this condition. You know, not perfect by any stretch, but at £10, it came home with me. I'm trying to think if I've missed anybody else out. Oh, Beeps, Brian and his lads. Seen his lads, had a great crack with them. No, Cinny Steve. Apparently he was ill. As you see, Cinny Steve down there. I can't think there's anybody else. If I do, if they keep coming to me, I'll keep mentioning them. Anyway, the bulk of what I bought was from Alan Chang. So he was stalling that with his mate again, the old Cockney geezer. He had didn't have much in terms of NES that I was after from the NES games. He had a couple of box sets which were quite nice, but again, it wasn't well. It wasn't supposed to be the event for spending money. So I'd seen Alan early doors, and again he had some fantastic Super Famicom games. Honestly, I could have just spent fucking and some awesome peripherals and stuff as well. He didn't bring his AES this year. Still didn't have a card reader, and I told the pair of them to get one last time. But looking through some of the stuff he had, I think Scott picked up on this, the Sega Zombie. Check his video out for a nice tour of the event. And he spent some time on Alan's store. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't realise that Alan had 2 PAL Mega CD games. Because, I say, he was just setting up, and I was just chatting to him. And he had this little pile of Japanese Mega CD games. And I saw this game, and again, this is one that I've been hankered for. It's not overly expensive, but once you start adding imports and you know, postage and all that kind of shit, it can run a little bit higher than it's probably worth. Alan did, I'm not going to say the price, but he did me all 3 of these items for a fantastic deal. But the game that I got on the Japanese, it's Japanese only, is Ernest Evans. So, no, got to cut here. Ignore this idiot that's talking now. It's not Edward Randy in the arcades. Ernest Evans and Edward Randy are 2 different games. I should have done my research, but I just, again, like I said, I've never played Ernest Evans. Edward Randy never actually got a home release, unfortunately. It's a great arcade game by Data East as well, so a completely different developer other than Wolf Team. And also to add, I completely forgot to show this. Mario RPG on the Switch. I actually completed it. It's a great little game, not too difficult. You know, for the price, not great value for money, I'll probably say. But it had to be done. So yeah, back to this idiot anyway. If those that know, is Edward Randy in the arcades. But it's just one, because I'm a big indie fan, as you may or may not know. and it's kind of like a. Oh, I don't know any history of it. I'm not going to start quoting Wikipedia or anything, but my guess would probably be it'd be something like they developed the game, Wolf Team, didn't get the license and fucking released it anyway. But I just love the fact that back then you could just do shit like that, completely fucking rip off an IP, and still get away with it. I doubt you get away with it nowadays, especially with Disney, the wankers. But yeah, Ernest Evans, aka Edward Randy. So the next thing, so I said to him, "Look, put that to one side, and I'll come back and square up with you, you know, later on." But then he had this as he was, you know, going through the boxes. And ordinarily, I wouldn't have bought. It's a Sega Saturn game. But I've seen a few people pick this up. I think Eddie picked it up, Roller Core. Again, I think Scott got it quite recently. Did Scott Sega Saturn? I can't remember. It's Japanese anyway. A lot of Alan's stuff is mainly imports. And for what I thought he had a good price on this. You know, a decent price. So I said, look, stick that with Ernest Evans, and I'll come back at the end. I'll come back and square up with you. Because that's the thing with London. It's not. You don't get lulls like you do at Doncaster and stuff, so it's very difficult, A, to go for a piss, and B, to go and, like, you know, square up with people afterwards. But Alan was an absolute legend, kept them to one side for me. Now, the game in question that I've got is Cyberbots. I think they all came in this big release. I don't know, someone would be able to tell me differently. But I guess you get a pop-up, like a pop-up diorama. And like a comic art book type thing, but this is a one-on-one mech beat 'em up. You know, in the Capcom stable of beat 'em up, so you know it's good. And limited edition. Apparently, this is number 1725. I don't think that means absolutely fucking anything, but that's what it is. Now, when I got back home, just looking through it all, just looking to see what was in it. There's no game. So Alan has decided to keep the game, but I've messaged him and he sort of said he's going to get home somewhere. So I'm sure it'll come good on his promise on the game. But yeah, so I was, like I say, it's just one of them. I wasn't going out to buy Sega Saturn, you know, Japanese, or obviously don't need any PAL games anyway. But just seeing it there, and someone just said to me, you know what, let's just get it, because London's a long old day. And it's nice just to treat yourself once in a while to a few bits. So that's what I did. But not only that, this probably should be the finale of the video, but we're doing it in this order. Fuck it. So I went back to see Alan at the end of the day to square up with him, and I'd seen this sat on the back of his shelf. He had a couple of other sort of bits of hardware, I suppose is a better way to say it. That really, like, I was like, man, like, I can't, because I've got to pay for Christmas and stuff like that. And he had this, and I just coveted it, to be honest, and because I'd seen it a little bit earlier. I didn't really ask him too much about it. I'd seen it. We spoke very briefly, and it was still there at the end of the day. And I said, "What's your best price on that?" And he gave me a price, and I was a bit cheeky. I said, "Look, if you go this lower," and it wasn't a great deal lower, you know, like 20 quid lower. I said, I'll go back and get the other bit of money, because I couldn't turn it down at this price. And he agreed. And I brought it home. I mean, the box, I think I can clean a bit of the box. I think it's got a bit of tape or some dirt on it, essentially. It's a console variant. It's a console variant, but a very nice, different variant to what we got in the PAL. Ollie and Clint will appreciate this, I'm sure. And it's the Sega Master System. The Master System! But it's a Japanese version. This is superb. This is a lovely. Inside is lovely. If I can be asked, I'll do some B-roll of just looking in the internals. But essentially, it plays FM. So any of the games, a lot of you might not realise this, but I think there's about eight or so Master System games that have FM sound, and also it's got 3D built in, so you don't need to use the slot for the 3D card adapter. It's got it built in. And the pads have got the little stumpy stick controllers, which we got over here the first release. So yeah, really happy with this. So, I say Alan did me an absolute fucking solid on it. I don't think the box is as good as Nick as the one he sold Jay years ago. But so I am more than happy with this. You can see like a dirt mark and stuff there. And again, I'll give it a clean up. I haven't done anything with it, to be honest. But really, really happy with that. So that was the London gaming market. Oh, Ryan, UK Video Game Pirate. Seen Ryan there. I knew those other people, so seen Ryan there. Said hello to Ryan. You know, we had a bit of a chat. And he was off on his way. I think he bought something from me. I can't think if there's anybody else. Like I say, if I do remember, I will put your name along the bottom, and I will also link you in the description. So please check all these people out. Check their videos out. Check their channels out. All honest, you know, real YouTubers. Now, very briefly, 'cause I am running out of battery on this GoPro. Still getting used to this GoPro. One thing that I got from eBay, I saw Tony, I think it was, Electric Adventures, talk about this recently. I mean, you guys that are into all this shit, like Dylan and whatnot, this is nothing new. But I saw Tony pick this up. I think he bought it from one of the, is it PAX Oz or something like that, one of the big sort of gaming events over in Australia. And he paid something like $150. Now this hadn't been on my radar at all. That's a fucking lie, Stu. This came onto my radar because of getting the analog equipment stuff, and obviously I had one of the 8-bit DOE wireless controllers and stuff. Well, they're pretty decent. And when Tony showed this in his video, it reminded me, actually, you know what, that might not be a bad solution. But I need to get the other adapters for this, for it to play into the other machines, because it doesn't come, it's not built for the analog NT or Mega SG. And we're talking, and I'll show you what it is first. It's the 8-bit DOE arcade stick. You know, everyone goes fucking ballistic crazy for this thing. And it is a lovely, lovely stick. I paid 60 quid off eBay for this. I shit you not. And although it's kind of used, it's not. It's still got the what do you call it? The cellophane on the buttons and stuff. I'll show you. So I don't. Whoever's got this, I think the description was that they bought it for the Raspberry Pi but never used it, or something like that. But I don't know if you can see. Yeah, the buttons are still got. They've all got the plastic covering on. So I mean, there's some weight to it, you know. You could take someone out with this. Lovely build, but yet to use it in anger. So, you know, the idea was to get this to play with the SG and the Super NT, Mega SG, Super NT. But it's USB and it's Bluetooth. But for it to work with those ones, you need, I think it's called like the retro adapters or something. And I think they're like about 20 odd quid each or something stupid. So they might be on the radar, but I just thought at that price for this, it's like, okay. So I think I watched it and then they sent me an offer. And I think I countered a little bit lower, and I think it ended up being like 60 quid. And I was like, well, I ain't going to argue with that. So we snapped their hand off. So, it's just the same with me. I go in these phases. I don't buy any hardware for a while, and I go fucking mad and start buying joysticks. I'm looking at more joysticks. Right, to finish off, non-gaming. And I just saw this. It's via Hasbro Pulse. So I've been buying stuff from Hasbro Pulse. You may or may not have seen some of the indie stuff. I haven't showed the indie figure collection. It literally takes up a whole fucking row, and then some another Hasbro stuff. But anyway, I was on the sale, and this come up for a stupidly cheap price. And I remember these as a kid. I didn't have them. My mate John had these, but I thought, oh man, I've got to get them for this price. And it's Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. It comes in this like little display pack thing, but basically inside it's just the 2 carded figures. And it just brought back so many memories. And again, this is not going to be for everybody, and I'm not going mad buying G.I. Joe figures, but ninjas, man. It was ninjas. We were just ninja mad, and these two were the dog's bollocks. Obviously, he's the Joes and he's the Cobra guy. But yeah, I think they're meant to be brothers, aren't they, or something? But yeah, you know, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I always think Storm Shadow looked a bit more badass, but Snake Eyes is just the guy. So guys, that is it for me. 20 minutes, that'll be about to do it. Thanks everybody who came and said hello at the London Gaming Market. Those that didn't, I don't know why. I did spot a few people in the crowd. I'm not sure why they do this. I don't know them, never spoke to them. They've never spoke to me, but they just seem to give the stall a wide berth. I mean, Daz is next to me, he's got his stuff. I don't really understand it, so if anybody is watching this and you sort of didn't come to the stall or come to Daz's stall because I'm there, I don't know, man. I think you need to grow up a little bit, which is a shame. This is a shame that grown men act like that, are that way inclined. But I say, these people I've never spoke to, I don't know them. Perhaps they don't like my views on YouTube and monetization and well, not monetization, but yeah, the monetization of YouTube, and maybe that rubs them up the wrong way in terms of their agendas. I don't know, but and it's not the first time. It's not the first time. Trust me, it happens in Birmingham and stuff. I pointed out to a couple of people, but it is what it is. I can't make people come to the stall and can't make people buy stuff or even come and just be civil and say hello, but that's their choice. But anyway, other than that, anybody did come to the store and bought some, I'm pretty sure I sort of looked after it. Oh, that's who it was. The Rampaging Turk. I fucking know, because he come right at the end. Nice to see the Rampaging Turk. He's Turkish, isn't he? I think. But yeah, he did sort of say he was going to come and say hello, and he did. He did. He come over. We had a bit of a laugh and a giggle again because it sort of quietened down. They still had to come and kick people out again. That's the second time that. I think that's the only show. I said this to Andy Brown. So it's the only show I think that probably should start at 10, or you know, or finish at 5 or whatever, because it finishes at, I think it's 11 till 4. But it should be longer. It should be longer because there's still people in there. But anyway, nice to see him. Nice to see everybody that was there, and I'll probably see you again soon before Christmas because I've got some absolute beauties, and I keep saying this. I know. I'm still trying to work out how I'm going to do it. You know, I might even have a drink. That'll be interesting, wouldn't it? Take it easy, YouTube, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.